In this video, I'd like to talk about writing equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. So in these example problems, we'll be given information about the line we're trying to find, and usually we'll be told that it's either parallel or perpendicular to some other line and that it passes through some specific point. And from that information, we can actually come up with the equation for that line. So in this one, we need to write the equation of a line that is parallel to x is equal to 8. And remember that when you see the lines are parallel, they have the same slope. They have the same steepness. And it's also going to pass through the point -3 comma -2. So let's think about this line, x is equal to 8. We need to figure out the slope of this line. And it might be helpful to draw this on a graph. So let me paste in a coordinate plane. And from this coordinate plane, we can get a better idea of what this actually looks like. So when you see horizontal or vertical lines, the general idea is to recognize what is always true. And since x is equal to 8, every point on the line will have this to be true, that the x value of every point on the line is equal to 8. So we can find an x value of 8, and for this, let's just use a scale of 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8. And here is our x value of 8. And every point on this line will have that exact same x value. So this is actually a vertical line, which can be a little bit confusing when talking about the slope because this slope is actually undefined. If we look at the rise over the run, it has no run. It doesn't go left or right at all. And so in your slope formula, you're dividing by 0, which you can't do. So in this case, our slope, we would say, is undefined. It's the only type of line that has this condition to it. But that's okay, because we can determine, since our line is parallel to this, that the line we're looking for would also have an undefined slope. They're still equal, they just don't have a defined value to them. So let's plot the point that we know our line goes through. So that's at -3, -2. And we'll keep the scale of 2 for the y values as well. So -3, -2. This is at -2, so -3 is right in the middle of these two dashes. And we go down to -2, so somewhere right there. And since these two lines have the same steepness, this line would also have to be vertical. It would also have this undefined slope. So we can draw in a vertical line here, and we just need to figure out its equation. So notice what's true about this vertical line. Every point on this line would have the same x value. So that's how we'll write the equation of this line. And that particular x value is -3. So in this case, x is always -3, and y can be anything. So this is the equation of the line that we're looking for. And if we had an equation that was just y is equal to something, we would follow a similar process, though in that case, we would have horizontal lines, and the slope would be 0 in that case. So maybe it's a little bit simpler. This is one of the more challenging cases. So let's look at a more typical case.